Hello, 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 hello. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Happy New Week. How are you doing? I see Akanji Philip is already waiting. In fact, he was on here before we even joined. Hi, Philip. How are you? Who is on? Who is on? Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Okay. If you've joined, please drop a comment so that I know who is here. StreamYard would not let me see who is who directly. So please let me know your name, your location. You know how we do it now. Yeah, let me know where you're joining me from. Hi, everyone. Hi. It is another episode of the Essence Pre-Conference Conversations. And tonight, somebody say tonight. Somebody say tonight is my night. Tonight we are having an amazing woman that I cherish, that I love. I have been privileged to meet her on few occasions, and every single time she just blows my mind away with the level of warmth that she has. And I cannot wait to have her on here. Eze Gam Mesoma. Good evening. It's good to have you here. Thanks for joining. Chikemara, good evening. All the way from Abuja. Awesome. Hmm. This one that it's Abuja that has said something here first. Are we going to have more Abuja today, or is Lagos people going to? Are Lagos people going to save me? Jesse, it's good to have you here again. Mary, yes, you have saved Lagos people. Yes, at least we have one now. Hi, Mary, thanks for joining. Nnen Nachuku, good evening. Thanks for joining us. Miracle Ifechuku, thanks for joining. Jesse is watching from Gombe State. Good to have you. I see Paul. Sometimes I wonder if I am actually really Gen Z because these slangs, I'm not really conversant with them. A pastor read a Gen Z Bible, like it's a translation now, Gen Z translation. And he was reading Luke chapter 1, when the angel met Mary. And all the terms that he was using, I could understand just half. What is sauce? SUS sauce. I don't understand this. Like sometimes I ask myself, am I really Gen Z? Like, well, you can't blame me. I was born in the first few months of the Gen Z categorization, so I really don't get it. Oluwakemi is watching from Lagos. Yes, Lagos too. Abuja one. Good, good. That's what I want to see. How can Abuja people be winning all the time? Okay, today we have Don Paul from Ogun State. Good to have you, Don. Who else? Nena is watching from Kogi. Good to have you. Tosin, hi Tosin. Tosin is such an amazing human being that God blessed me with. I'm so ever thankful for him. Hi Tosin, you're watching from Oyo State. Good to have you here. Miracle is watching from Lagos. Lagos 3, Abuja 1. Where are the Abuja people? Last week, you guys showed me Pepe. That Lagos people don't show up for their own. My Lagos people are showing up today. Who is excited for tonight's session? Chinaza, it is session, not section. Who is who is responsible? Chinaza. Who is excited for tonight's session? I will not bite my tongue here in Jesus' name. Moses is watching from Calabar. It's good to have you. Thanks for joining. Who is excited? I'm super excited because, like I said earlier, the person that we'll be having today is someone that is really, really packed, someone whose insights you want to gain, want to get, someone whose perspective you want to listen to. I was privileged to be on her podcast late last year or mid last year, and I had like till date, it's one of the best podcast appearances I've made. The conversation was so rich, so beautiful. Y'all should go and check it out. Voices with Victoria Ndu, okay, on YouTube. Who is excited? If you're excited, just let me know in the comments that you're excited. Jessie is excited. Mary is excited. Chiamaka is watching from Lagos. See, I've lost count. Thank you guys for showing up for me. Thank you, Chiamaka, for joining. Israel Nwafo. Israel Nwafo. Good to have you here. Good evening. You're watching from Giants of Africa. I commit my reserve. About the Giants of Africa, comment my reserve. But how can you be watching from your whole country? All of us are in Nigeria now. Well, the ones that I've mentioned where they're watching from. You just put us in a corner like this. Else is here? Somebody is watching from Lagos. Fortune is watching from Ogun State. Okay, so without wasting your time, it's already 10 minutes past 8. I wanted 7. 10 minutes past 7. I wanted to give time for some people to join us, and now we have about 28 persons. I'm sure that as we go on, more people are going to join and even watch later. So, without wasting your time, I asked my guests, my pretty and beautiful guest, to share her bio with me, and she gave me 4 very simple sentences, not up to 5 words in each sentence. I said it. Only one has 5 sentences. The others, she actually gave me 3 sentences. I'm going to read them with you. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest today for this episode of Essence Pre-Conference Conversations is no other than the beautiful, ridiculously beautiful Victoria Ndu. She is the host of the podcast Voices with Victoria. She's the host of the show Voices with Victoria show, where I told you I made a guest appearance on. It was beautiful. She's doing amazingly well. Like, she has conversations that you just can't log out of if you tune in. She's interviewed the likes of, I think, Raymond Opani, me, Fee Stephen, Toby, Madam Landlady. Remember when I had Madam Landlady 2 weeks ago? Yeah, 2 weeks ago. She has hosted a couple of amazing people. So you want to go watch the show on YouTube, Voices with Victoria. Okay, that's the name. She is the state manager of 3MTT. When she comes on, she's going to tell us what those acronyms mean. But she's the state manager of 3MTT 3MTT Nigeria. I'm too excited. That's why I'm stuttering. Please bear with me. Okay. And she is the mother of Madam President. This one was the one that sweeted my heart. I know that word does not exist, but I just invented it. She is the mother of Madam Landlady. I'm the mother of Joshua too. Commander Josh. So when I see somebody who does not omit their motherhood from their bio and profile, I just admire them a lot, because I know that it takes a lot to be a mother, to be a parent. So it's only pride that can make anybody include that in their bio. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the simplest bio I've ever gotten. But when our guest comes on, she's going to tell us more about herself that she did not mention in her bio. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're excited for us to have Lady Victoria Ndu, if you're excited, I need you. You know how we do it. We cannot bring her on. We don't roll red carpets, we roll fire carpets. So if you're excited for us to have our guest tonight, Lady Victoria Ndu, please set that comment section on fire. Let me know. Let me know that you're excited. Let her also see that you're excited for her to join us. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, Mesom, I see yours. Miracle, I see yours. Israel, you're sending lightning. Are we doing lightning and thunder tonight? Amazing. Who else? Set the comment section on fire. Let's do this. Miracle, yes, keep it coming. Esther, I see yours. Keep it coming. Mary says overexcitement, they worry me. I feel you. I'm too excited too. Ihoma, Miracle, I see you. All right, without wasting your time, let me bring her on. Are you ready to see this beauty? Are you ready to see this beauty? Let me not talk. Let me comment my reserve, not reserve my comment this time. You can be so excited that you now start mixing your words. That's exactly where I am right now. Ladies and gentlemen, see our beautiful, beautiful
I'm
guest.
blushing. I'm blushing. Oh my God, you are so amazing. Like the energy, I can feel it already here. Thank you so much for having me. And hello, everybody. Good evening.
My lady, Lady
Yes, I love it
Victoria.
when you call me that. God damn.
That's
Thank
exactly
you.
what you
Thank you.
are. Thank you so
Yes,
much
yes.
for
Thank you
choosing to do
so
this with
much for the
me.
warm
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank
I am
you. Thank you.
grateful.
My God, they're still setting this comment section on fire. Yes, keep it coming. Keep it
I
coming.
love
Keep
it.
it coming.
And did you notice something? I'm twinning with your theme. Did you notice? Green. And is it not
Yes,
showing money?
yes, yes. I didn't notice immediately. Madam,
Yes.
Mama, Madam President. Okay, Israel, I see you.
That tag, yeah. It's all right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my
Thank
lady,
you
for
very
joining.
much.
Let us delve right in.
Yes, please. Mm, mm.
That sounded very AI, but let us delve in,
Amazing.
my
Yes,
lady.
please. Mhm.
Um. Oh, I see Drama Dicta. Hi, IJ. Good to have you
Bye.
here. Thanks for joining
Thank you,
us.
Mary.
Yeah, she's beautiful and she has a beautiful voice. Yes, I don't. Have I
Thank
commented
you.
on your voice? I don't think I have.
Hey, God. Thank
It's
you.
really beautiful. Thank you.
Mm,
So before we go into the show proper, before I start asking you the questions that I
mhm.
wrote out,
Yeah.
tell me what why did you choose? Because I've not seen it. I've not seen a lot of people do it. Why did you
Mhm.
choose to add mother of Madam President to your bio? I'm just curious to know.
Okay. So that's not my professional bio. To be
Yeah,
honest, I
I know.
just didn't want to go to Google Docs and start exporting that. But that's a title I wear with honor because, again, being a mother is a full time job,
Yes,
right?
it is.
And
Yes.
it's an important part. In fact, I don't think there's any job, well, that is as important as that. Do you know what it means to be the primary caregiver of a full human being?
Yeah.
Do you know what it means to be a carrier and a nurturer of a human being that God has created? One person that God equals to the whole world, right? Now,
Yeah.
you as a mother is a nurturer. You're the carrier. You carried for 9 months plus, and then you're nurturing. I mean, please, it's a big deal.
It is.
So,
It
yes,
is.
it's a big deal.
It is.
Thank you.
I'm also a very proud mother. Like when I meet
Mm-hmm.
people and they ask me, "Oh, how are you? I'm good. Can I know more about you?" Like, yeah, yeah. I tell you my name and I tell you I'm a mother of a 5-year-old boy.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I tell women who feel like they are losing out on their season, especially new
Yeah.
moms who are quite ambitious. Because I was also there at the early stage. I tell them that you need to understand this season and wear it with pride and honor. For
Yeah.
the fact you're a mother doesn't mean that every other expression stops. But in the case where you can't juggle every other thing, it's okay.
It's
You know,
okay.
it's okay.
It's okay. It's just the phase, the season. Ah,
Exactly.
thank you for joining me on this. So when I sent
Thank
you
you.
the invite, I was having double mind. Was she going to accept or not? But then when it came back positive, ah,
Hmm.
I screamed, I celebrated it, because you are one of the few persons that I have seen your authentic expression. Okay.
Hmm.
I said that you're quite inspired by a lot of people, but um you are able to still carve out an identity for yourself. You're able to still carve out a path for yourself and you are going for it. Trust me, I've watched you, I've watched the things that you do. I've followed you to some extent, so I'm talking from a place of knowledge and from someone who
Yeah.
has seen you from not just from the distance, but even up close.
Yeah.
You are inspired by a lot of people, but you still are able to maintain your individuality and your authenticity, and that is very, very admirable. That is one of the reasons I brought you. I chose to invite you, and you accepted. So I don't take this for granted.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
It's an
very,
honor
very
being
much.
here.
Yeah. Before we continue, I see Choma Nana here. Hi, sis. Good
Hi.
evening. Good to have you here. It's been a while. How have you been? Adeline, Esther, good to have you too. Thank you. Faith Augustine, I didn't see your comment earlier. Just wanted to make sure that I highlighted everybody. Good to have you. Mamo, how do you pronounce this name, please?
Mudiaga.
Mudiaga. Ah, God. Mudiaga. Good to have you. Thanks for joining us. Okay, my lady,
Yes,
um,
please.
what does essence mean to you? I mean, when you hear the word
Hmm.
essence, what does it mean to you?
Okay. I would, you know, share what I think about it, but I would also take it from the basic literal definition of it, right? It's very simple. Um, the English dictionary basically says that it is the basic nature of a thing. When I checked it out, I just searched the dictionary. What really is essence? Let me not assume. I know what it is, but I also needed to also check what the dictionary is saying. And it was
Yeah.
such a profound definition. It's the basic nature of a thing, the quality of qualities that make a thing what it is. What makes Chinaza who she is? That's the essence of Chinaza, right? So, taking from this definition, what I think essence is the core of who you are, your characteristics, your experiences, and values that make you you, right? And so the entirety of your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, in simple layman terms, that's what it is. It's the reason why you are drawn to certain things or drawn to certain people and repelled by others. It's the reason why no two people have the exact same essence. Because I like to say this, that God created us as a unique individual. We all have a unique specificity that only us possess. It means that
Yes.
Victoria Ndu is absolutely different from Chinasa Favor, no matter how we think, no matter how, even if you're a twin. And so your genetic makeup, your upbringing, your experiences, and your choices are also unique to you. So essence isn't just a concept. It's not just essence you know concept or the conference. I listened to the last interview and you said it's a project, right? It's a mission that God has given to you beyond the conference. And yes, it's not just a
Yeah.
concept, because essence is expressed in everything you do. It's not what
Yes.
you say, it's who you are. It's not what I am this,
That.
it's who you live. It's
Yes.
essence shows in every your day to day. It's not an act that you
Yes.
put up. It's not
Yes.
I put on, I'm wearing a wig. Essence is not what I can put on and take it off because
And
I'm going out and I need to put a set. So no, essence is who you
yes.
are. Because I always say this is also related. Belief empowers behavior. So, and with time,
Mm.
because of who you are, we start to see what you do. It sort of like reflects, right? And so that's what essence is. It shapes how you see the world. It shapes how you react to situations. You see people having the same situation, reacting differently. That's the essence of who they are. How you connect with people. So, summarily, based on this question, essence is the answer to the question of who am I? And this question sounds or seems very easy, but let me tell you, it's one of the hardest questions you have to answer. I always say this: the moment you realize who you are, the game changes for you. A lot of persons are feeling empty because they've not paused to ask themselves this very simple but in a way hard question. So today, before we get right into the conversation, I would just charge you, just stop and assess, who am I? Because if you're not touching the essence of who you are, of especially of your current season, you'll be empty. And that's why we have many people who are feeling empty, depressed, overwhelmed. You can be doing so much and people are saying well done, but well done for what? That's the
Yeah.
question. Those who wear masks can't sustain what God has given to them for so long because it's so uncomfortable. It's so draining to be someone that you're not. For one, it's hard to keep up. for the second point is maybe people can actually see right through it. And so if you feel
Yeah.
like you need to be something you are not to find
Mm.
success, then you are wrong. You need to find your essence. And that's what essence is, truly who you are at the core.
Um, can we share the grace now?
Ah,
I know we just started, but can we just share the grace already?
Read me, don't mind me.
Because
I prepared a lot of
what you talked extensively, but you hit different points. What
something.
everything you shared are everything I think essence is.
Yes.
Everything. It is the answer to the question, who am I? Which a lot of people ask, but don't really
Mm-hmm.
ask.
Ah, yes.
They think they are
Mm-hmm.
asking, they think they know, but the
Mm-hmm.
answers that they have are so shallow that they are still
Probably
disconnected
inspired by the
from
external.
themselves.
This question needs to
Yes.
be answered inwardly, not what people think or the
Yes.
labels people have given to you.
Yes. Yes. Yo, do you see why when I told you to get ready, do you see why you needed to get ready?
You
No.
see, can you see the red
This is
mark here? I'm blushing so hard. Oh my God. Hey, hey, God.
you all know that I have not flattered her. I've only just said what is true. Gosh, essence is expressed in everything you do, and that is so profound.
Mhm.
So profound.
Yeah.
When people hear when you see people say, "Oh, I am this person in this context, I am this person in this other context," it can make sense to some degree, but your essence is not
Yes.
something you choose to express
Mm-hmm.
just
Mm-hmm.
out of will. It is expressed whether you're a mother, in every role that you play
Mm-hmm.
or every position that you occupy. Your essence has to be seen, whether you're a
Permit me
mother,
to say
whether
this.
you are. Yes, please.
Yes, please. Just in reference to what you said, just reminds me of a quote we usually say years back: how you do one thing is
It's
how
how
you
you
do
do
everything.
everything. Yes.
That's just the essence of who you are. When you show up in a particular, that's who you are, basically. And even if you fake it at some point in some level, soonest you get tired of it and people will
You
see
get
the real you. So,
tired. Yes,
yeah, you get
yes.
tired of it.
See, just this one question now can lead us to
Hmm.
1 whole hour of talking, and we'll not even remember that there are other questions. So let me leave it and move on to
Yes,
the next one. Gosh, thank you so much for that expository
my pleasure. Thank you.
explanation. Thank you. So I want to ask this question. Did you, at what point, okay, let me start with this. Did you, have you always known that
Hmm.
this is who I am? Have you
Hmm.
always been aware of who you are and embodied your identity very well? If yes is the answer, I'd really love to know what your childhood experiences were.
Okay. Hmm.
And if no is the answer, if at some point you got to get on a journey to embracing authenticity and discovering your essence, I'd really love to know what happened, then what incident led to that.
Hmm. Amazing. Thank you. This is a very deep question. Um, there are different parts to which I could answer, but let me start this way. I think I would owe my upbringing to a lot of things. I don't have a sub story in that sense where I'm grateful for my background. If you notice that I have a mark here, a birth mark
Yeah, yeah.
that never in any way affected my esteem. That's to tell you the level of confidence I had as a child. Because it's not easy
Wow.
to have a mark or a quote a scar
And not care
where,
so much about it.
yeah, I mean, I felt like I was the most beautiful, and that's because of the kind of family I came out from. So yes, that contributed as well. I'm the firstborn. In fact, they call me in quote Baza Queen. They call me, I'm that girl that steps into a room and everybody just sort of like knows I'm there. All the church competition, Victoria, first, those cards. So again,
Yeah.
I don't know that I think that contributed. But like I always say, and I will use Jesus Christ as an example. Jesus Christ was the Son of God. He is the Son of God. He knew, but he also went through dedicated study. So you would find him in a temple with, the teachers and everything. So regardless of who he was from the upbringing and everything, there's still certain training he had to undergo. So even if yes, my upbringing was such an amazing one where my parents provided all I needed at the time, and I was very confident growing up and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that in the university I got into the right circle, and both virtually and physically as well. And I just subjected myself to training. I always say this: clarity is not gotten in a day. So yes, at some point I knew I mean, at the core of who I am is that I'm a Jesus baby. At the core of who I am is that I am one who God has died for, who Jesus Christ came to die for. At the core of who I am is a girl who is just ready to do what God wants her to do. And so that could be expressed in different ways. I'm open to it. So even
Mm-hmm.
right from when I was an undergraduate, I just had that God consciousness in me,
Yeah.
right? I just have that God consciousness in me. And so that's sorry, I'm a bit distracted. So yeah, so that sort of like got me into it. You asked me how did I discover who my essence. Like I said, clarity is not gotten in a day. Today, the expression of what I know I am, which is, I'm just a tool. I'm a pencil in the hand of God.
Yeah.
I am an arrow in the hands of God, right? And I'm ready to be thrown at whatever field. Now, because I have that large general consciousness of who I am
Mm-hmm.
in God and in
Yeah.
Christ, I am ready to take on different expressions in that alignment. Also, I'm somebody who is very careful about my strengths. I know what I'm good at. If you notice, a lot of things that I do is tied up to my strengths. I love talking, I love teaching, I love express, and you can see Voices with Victoria. In fact, I
Yeah.
started a magazine in 2016 or 2017, and all of the things that I have done is just different brand names. But if you notice, the messaging is consistent. For over 10 years, every single thing Victoria Nwanna, I was Victoria Nwanna, now Victoria-Ndu, has been
Yeah.
around about the same. At the core of it is the same thing, maybe just different names. It was the Heroes Conversation, now Voices with Victoria. It was the Heroes Magazine. At the core of everything is, I was
Yeah.
doing Skill Factory Africa. Now I've gone to a federal initiative. 3MTT, by the way, is a federal government initiative. And I'm so honored and happy to be leading and managing the one here at Akwa Ibom State, right? 3MTT means 3 million technical talents from the federal government initiative. And all of
Okay.
these things didn't happen because I went out for it. I was just living my life, understanding my strengths, putting myself out there, and the opportunities that were in line with who I am. And that's why when you don't understand who you are, or you putting out a fake posture, you would attract opportunities based on that fake posture, right? And you begin
Yes.
to take on things that are overwhelming for you.
Sorry.
You can't fit into it because it's like trying to fit a round peg in a box hole.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
I
it's
can hear you, please.
echoing. I don't know if it's from my end. Okay, it's better now.
Okay.
So, well, I've just sort of like said different things. The point is, my upbringing, of course, played a very good role. But again, I also, like Jesus Christ, I also subjected myself to training, the right
Yeah.
exposure, environments, all of these things sort of like added up. And like I said, at the core of it is just knowing who I am in God. After that, every other thing just follows. God just gives you different expression. Chinaza, he can tell you today to do something else. But if you notice, at the core of that thing you are doing is still going to be something in alignment to what you have always been doing or who you've always
Yes.
been doing. It might just be at different scale for a different
Yes.
market, but the messaging is the same.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yes,
Wow. I must I must give your caregivers, your parents, or whoever um, played a part in your upbringing a very good shout
thank
out
you.
and thumbs up because they really did a good job. I mean, for you to have that mark and it still felt really beautiful. It
Do you know
tells a
what they call
lot.
it? The map of Africa. So I felt like I was truly an African queen. And funny enough, one of the nicknames people give me now is Mama Africa. Do you see how
Wow.
everything just sort of like aligns?
Yeah. Wow. That's really beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that, Mama. It's
Thank
really
you.
beautiful. Thank you. I'm glad that there are several ways that one can come into this consciousness, and not everybody has a sad story. This America's Got Talent or X Factor and all
Mm-hmm.
that they do. And then you see people who come, oh, I came from a very low background, and this and that. They will tell a sub story, and then the judges connect with them. People feel sorry for them, and then they sing. You don't even know whether it is the song that they sang that is actually really good, or their story that now powered the
I guess
emotions that
human
the
beings
judges
are
are feeling.
emotional, so
Yeah. But then when I see people also who don't have any sub story, who just
mm-hmm.
are there to sing and share their talent, I connect with them too. And the judges, it may not be as emotional as the other ones because they already told the sub story that made others
Mm-hmm.
to cry. Oh, I'm battling cancer
Yeah.
and this and that. But when you see somebody who just has the passion for music, who has no health issue, who who just has
Mm-hmm.
a very straight story, it's beautiful also. And I think
As
it's one of
well.
the things that people need to embrace more. you know people are
I think
always
we
looking
all
for
have a
the
story. Mm-hmm.
People are always looking for the sad story to tell, like the sad in their story to tell, so that they can feel like they are part of the greater narrative. But I don't
Mm.
see why. I mean, you should, if you have no sub story, you should own it. It's an advantage for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's
If you
okay.
come from a rich home, you don't have to apologize for that advantage. Just own it.
Mhm. Yeah.
I
And
know
then
people will
rather
be like,
than
hey,
a
you don't even
story.
relate with us. Yeah?
No, I mean, like I said, yeah, I think that's because people don't know that everybody has a story. And there's a story that everybody would connect to, or at least your own tribe. It might not be a sub
Yeah.
story. Take us through the process. For the fact that I don't have a sub story in that sense, doesn't mean I've
Yeah.
not had a process story as well. That has taken me
Yes.
from point A to point B. So
Yes.
if you don't have a sub story, you
Yes.
can also leverage on your process story, and people will connect with that
Process.
as well.
Yes.
Mm.
I spoke at an event 2 days ago, and they said, "See, instead of clapping, just snap," and it has become ingrained in my
Oh,
subconscious.
okay. I
So
like it.
when you say something that really resonates with me, I'm like, that's really beautiful. So instead of telling a sub story that you don't have, tell your process
Yeah.
story. Everyone has a
Mhm.
process.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that. It's really beautiful. So,
Thank you.
when do you feel most connected to your essence?
Hmm. Well, I feel most connected to my essence when I'm fully present. And, because there's a whole lot going outside. And like I said earlier, sometimes we are all about what we're doing and we forget that being first before doing. Because again, your
Being
doing is
before
fueled
doing,
by who you
yes.
are. Yes. So, how I feel when I feel most connected is when I'm alone by myself. I'm not just sitting down in a house. I mean, people could be there, but when I mean alone with myself, I mean in my thoughts, solitary. Jesus Christ at some point went up alone. So he had to have
Yeah.
that me time. And that's where you get to even answer some questions that you are everywhere on every platform asking. Sometimes we have the answers to most of the questions that we ask. It's just that we have not silenced ourselves enough to hear. And our
Yeah.
spirit is yearning to give us those answers, to give us that direction. So people say, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. Your spirit knows. And it just wants you to keep quiet and say, okay, this is where you should go. So yeah,
Yes.
in silence. But again, sometimes it's not just in silence. I also feel most connected to my essence when I'm engaging in genuine and meaningful conversations that are aligned with my season. So again, sometimes you see, there is no one size fits all. So sometimes, I feel most connected when I'm quiet by myself, reflecting. That is my
Yeah.
like meditation and all of those things. Sometimes in conversations, I'm getting the spark, I'm getting the answers, I'm getting clarities. In even teaching sessions like this, whether as a
Yeah.
teacher or as a student, or creative endeavors. So there are different things. I will not tell you go to the beach because, to be honest, in the whole of last year, it was only once I went to the beach. I know that those are the usual answers. And now, if you want to connect to your source, you have to. Yeah, it works for people, but
Yeah.
I've not had the time to just go there. So I just prefer
Explore
to see
that
some.
that much.
Yeah, yes, as well. So just the point is just to shut out the external noise and hear yourself. tuning into yourself. You'll be surprised. There are lots of things you know that you don't know you know. Just tune out and you will hear it. Mm.
Thank you so much for that. Before I continue with the conversation, I wish to bring to the notice of everyone watching that Essence Conference Lagos is set to happen in Lagos on the 1st of June 2024. Okay. So if you're here and you're in Lagos, you're anywhere around Lagos, you're in Nigeria, you can imagine only what the real conference, what the physical conference is going to be like if the pre-conference is like this, you know. We have put together a stellar lineup of speakers. We'll be revealing our website soon, and when we do, you'll be seeing our speakers. But for now, I just wanted to know that we have a stellar lineup of speakers who will be sharing with you different ways that you can reconnect with your essence and how they were able to do that work and what it has been like for them. So if you are a business owner, you're a creative, you're a career professional, or you're just somebody who really loves to who would really love to reconnect with yourself, you know that, okay, where I am right now, I know I need to do the work. The Essence Conference is for you, especially also the Essence Boot Camp, which will be taking place the next day after the conference. So here is the ticket. Here are the tickets that we have for you. Is the first one is the premium ticket, which is 15,000 naira. But for 10,000 naira, you can get access. Once it is 30th of April, you will not be able to, well, once it is 1st of May, you will not be able to get this ticket at this price. It will go back to 15,000 naira. All right. So what does this give you? Full access to all conference sessions, networking opportunities, free conference material, a copy of my book, Dear Young One, which will be launched on that day, the second edition. All right. The next one is the Gold Pass, which gives you the privilege of joining the exclusive Essence Bootcamp with our guest trainer. This is where you'll be having practical hands-on sessions. I'll be guiding you through several activities, like right there and then you will find the clarity that you're looking for. All right. Who am I? What am I supposed to be doing at this point? What path should I take? I'm not going to be giving you those answers. I will be working with you to find the answers by yourself right there and then. You cannot come there and at the end of the day you are still confused about what path to take. Okay? So you need to be there at the conference and here. But if you pay for this ticket, you get access to the conference, okay, and you still get all the benefits that are in the premium pass. And then if you are a group of 5 and above, we have 10% discount off your total registration fee. Okay, I mean, why should you go alone when you have a group of people that you can come with, right? So instead of paying 10,000 naira, you can pay after summing up, maybe let's say you are 5 people, instead of paying 50,000, 10% off 5 people or 50,000 naira is what? 5,000. So you save that money maybe and use it for transport instead of just coming alone. So you can get your friends together, put resources together, and pay at a discounted price. And every um, category that is paid for, you will still get the full access, the full benefit of the category that you paid for. Okay, so where do you make your payment to? Where do you make your payment to? Pay into this account detail, Gemspot Solutions, Webman Bank. Okay, please look well so that you don't make mistakes in the name that you are paying into in the bank account that you're paying into. And then you start calling us out on social media. I paid and you did not confirm my payment. Scam! Please let us help each other. Okay. And once you're done paying, where do you send your ticket to? Ticket.essence at gmail.com. Ticket dot, please don't forget that dot there. Tickets.essence@gmail.com. A couple of people have purchased their tickets, so you don't want to miss out. Like Not because I'm the one hosting, but if you miss this conference, you'll be missing out on a whole lot, on a very pivotal event that's supposed to change the trajectory of your life forever. I mean, for the rest of your life. Not because I'm hosting it, but I know the value that you'll be getting at this event. Okay? So go do the needful. I hope to see you there. Go do the needful. And when you, if you want to pay for your group, you're up to a point where you can pay for your group.
I can't hear you. I don't know if it's from my end. Please, everyone, if you can hear her, just type in the comment that you can hear her. Let me know if it's from my end. Just confirm because I can't hear. Hello. Okay. Can everyone hear me? But I don't think I can hear Chinaza. Can you hear me, Chinaza? I think you're muted because I can't hear you. And people in the comments are also saying they can't hear you. So maybe you need to check that. Okay. I still can't hear. Because she's going to rejoin. So everyone just stay calm and cool. It probably is network. So once she joins back, I'm sure we're going to be able to hear her. Thank you, Rick. Okay, great. Enor. Hi Stanley. She's gonna join back shortly. I'm guessing network issues. We're in this era, this part of the world where anything can happen. So I'm sure that we all know that. Yes, Oluwakemi, she's going to join back shortly. Mudiaga, she's going to join back. And we hope that when she joins back, her sound is going to come back on. Not to worry, we're still going to have this conversation. I'm looking forward to being at the Essence Conference 2024. I don't mind traveling all the way to Lagos. I don't live in Lagos, but Chinaza has sold the event already to me, and I don't. In fact, I can't wait. So I'm looking forward to getting my own ticket. I hope I see all of you: Stanley, Rick, Mudiaga, Oluwakemi, Akanji. Yes, Third World Saga. You just got it right, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of you at the Essence Conference 2024. It's going to be a value party. Okay, she's back. Hi. Uh-oh. I cannot hear you. I don't know if it's from my end. Let me turn on my other device. You might need to disconnect your other mic, Chinaza. your main mic. You might need to disconnect and just try to do this without the mic. Just try to disconnect the mic. Yes, Victoria, my namesake. You said you cannot wait. I can't wait. Um, you know what? These things happen, these technical issues, especially when somebody wants to get their liberation or their watch for the season. You know, we're Africans, so things like this happen. So I want you to make up your mind that regardless of this technical glitch, you're still going to remain live on the call. We'll get that conversation get going, and you get your word for the season. I'm enjoying this conversation so far. We're talking about essence, and like I said before, the truth is people would definitely know from afar when you begin to fake things. And I understand the pressure of social media. Social media has put up a lot of facade where some people are, there's a thin line between being intimidated and being inspired. Some people think they are being inspired by the amazing things they are seeing on social media and they want to be like, but at the same time they are being intimidated. They are intimidating the true essence of who they are, and they want to become who another person is, maybe because of the project, the amazing things. For example, you see Chinaza, what she's doing, and which, while it's applaudable and commendable, and you are being inspired, you start to feel less of yourself because you think she's getting it right and you are not. And again, that's where a lot of people start to lose essence in themselves, because social media has brought the whole world to your face. Even the people you have no business seeing, the people you have no business trying to be like, because the whole world is in your face, you're being overwhelmed with a whole lot, and you lose track of what God truly wants for yourself. And I truly hope that after this conversation, and of course after the conference, we're going to go back to the beginning, to the original plan that God has for us. What has God set out to do for you? There are lives connected to you, there are businesses connected to you, there are projects connected to you, but you will not be able to truly get the result that God wants if you're operating outside your true essence, if you don't know who you are, if you don't know what God has called you to be, if you don't know what your values are, if you don't even know what your strengths are. Let's just be doing as they go. Anyhow we come, no wahala. No, you don't operate life that way. All right. Victoria, I said the difference is clear. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe just type in the comments so that I understand. Hi, Chinaza, are you back?
Ah, can you hear me now?
Finally.
So I was
Welcome.
tuning in with my system, so I have to close this one
Okay.
and then here. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear now.
All right. The noise in the background might get louder because I have disconnected from the mic, but this works. This has happened before in a particular session where the mic just stopped working for no reason. But my God cannot fail me. I've got no be shame.
Exactly. Fire.
Thanks for holding the fort, my lady. Thank you so much.
It's fine.
Please, where
Thank
was
you.
I before you stopped being able to hear me?
Hmm.
What was I saying, please, before I went off?
I think we're going to the next question. We're talking about story, and all of that, and then
I was already done talking about the tickets, right?
yes, you were.
Oh, thank you.
Actually,
Thank
yes,
you.
that's right.
I would have wanted to go back to them. So the next question is, hi Rick. I see that Rick Martin is here. Hi Rick, good to have you here. How are you? Rick is joining from the United States of America. Good to have you here. Thank you so much.
Hi.
So the next question I have is, how do you maintain authenticity in both personal and professional spheres? And what advice would you give to someone seeking this balance?
Hmm. Thank you. That's such an interesting question. Now let's pick the word. I always like to break things down so that when I'm saying something, we're getting the original interpretation of what was asked, right? You are saying, how do me personally, how do I maintain authenticity? First of all, what is authenticity? It's just the quality of being real, being true So how do I become true to myself, both in my personal and my professional life? Actually, okay, thank God you use fair, because they are all one and the same. I have only one life. So how I'm reflecting in my personal space is I'm still showing up in my professional space, right? And I would like to start with this, because the world is smarter by the day, and people can smell with time when you're fake. With that consciousness, I would not take on a posture that is not mine. I was saying before you joined in that there is this pressure to want to be liked, especially with social media, putting a lot of people, the whole world is in your face. There is
Yeah.
this pressure to want to be popular, and we are sort of like doing things outside who we, some people doing things outside who we truly are, just to gain that public applaud. And this is a natural space. I know that at some point everybody has felt that. When you see people doing amazing things, like Chinaza Favor doing great things, and you're feeling like, people that say, God, am I a spoon? And it's very easy to shift off the path of who God has truly called you to be, because you're seeing many things that are inspiring, by the way. But like I said earlier, there's a thin line between being inspired and being intimidated. A point where you see the amazing things other people are doing and your own vision becomes intimidated. You're already intimidated by who God has called you to be. And so, because you're in that space, it's very easy to want to become what those other people are and start to do what they are doing. Our desire to fit in, to be accepted, to find purpose, to find success. And it comes with the pressure to conform. So, again, how do I now become authentic, even in my personal and professional space? I'm trying to give a background to all these things so that I'm not just giving points, right? I understand that, and I would also like to put this caveat out. Being authentic does not mean I'm wearing my heart on my sleeve, in the sense that I'm spinning my life story to everybody at the moment I meet. No. Some people feel that's what it means to be authentic. Some people feel, oh, that's how I am now, take me as I am. That's being authentic. When you do something wrong, being brash, being non-considerate, inconsiderate, and you feel like because that's who you are, it's okay to be there. No, it's being authentic is about choosing your actions and behaviors that aligns with your core. So again, what are your core values? So this is how I maintain that authenticity. First of all, I know my core values. So what are your core values? And people are throwing the word core values. What is really core value? What are we even talking about when when we mention core values? Your core values is basically your internal compass, the things that guides Victoria as a person, the things that guides my behavior, my life choices. They are things that makes me to choose A instead of B. The things that help me to define what I consider good and bad. I think it was PK that says, what really is good? Who defines good? Who is the judge of good, really? Because sometimes what is good to me might not even be good to you. I always say this, not everything good is good for me. Not every good person is supposed to be my mentor. Again, so it's your core value that will help you in making decisions of what is truly good and what is bad. Your core values will help to represent your ideal behavior. Do you understand? And so your core value is not saying, oh, my core value is gratitude. It's you acting it out. So you need to sit down and ask yourself, what are my top core values? And it's not by what you're saying. If whatever you've penned down, you've not acted it in the past 10 days, sorry, that's what you borrowed online, right? So how do I maintain my authenticity? It's first of all being self-aware of what my core values are, and then aligning every of my decisions. At every point in time I want to do something, I ask myself, is this aligned with who I truly am, or who I've said I am, or the core values I have stated? In my personal life, I prioritize reflection. I honor my emotions. How I'm feeling is valid. Sometimes I'm angry, sometimes I'm sad. Yes, I honor it. Do you understand? So all of these things, I nurture genuine relationships and connections. Professionally, what do? I'm clear on my values. I've said it. I cannot overemphasize it. And I integrate this into decision making, into my communication, into my relationship. And so my advice for you here today is, stemming up from my own experience, is cultivate self-awareness. It's going to do you a whole lot of good. Identify what your values are. I'm not saying just write gratitude, honesty, integrity. A lot of people will write integrity. If they give you this thing, can you truly, well, let's just leave that side. So at the point of what I'm saying is, figure out what really matters to you. What are your passions? What are your strengths? These things are the things that make you you. And be honest with yourself. There is no need going to lie about what your values are. Nobody is giving you, nobody is marking to say, okay, perfect value system, 10 over 10. Really, it's nobody's business. So you need to be honest with yourself and then be honest with others. Don't try to be something you are not. You can work to be a better version of yourself, to truly want something, but trying to be who you are not. I mean, why are you scared of being you? Your interest, even your jokes, everything, the way I talk, sometimes I talk too fast, and I'm trying to be better and slower. Everything makes up who I am. I could be very energetic. Even right now, the reason I'm not even as energetic is maybe because I'm hungry, right? Again, all of this makes me. And so let your personality, so in my personal life, my professional space, wherever you find me, you would see that personality shining through even at work. I'm somebody who is quite excellent, right? It shines through in almost everything that I do. Again, in my professional setting, how do I become authentic? I set boundaries because, like I said, social media is throwing a lot of things in your face. If you are not careful, you become who you are not. You become Chinaza Favor. You easily become Victoria Undu. You will not even know that you are no longer Philip. Philip, one day you wake up and forget you are Philip. You will start doing like Victoria. So you need to set boundaries. It's okay to say no to certain things, both at work and even at home. Even at home here, there are certain times I say no. I don't overload myself trying to please everybody, trying to do things because it is popular or because it's going to fetch me the applause and all. So I'm very careful at protecting my time and energy for the things that matter the most. And again, for the last part of the question, briefly, let me just say this. I think I've overstretched time. You mentioned balance. I would rather say integration. And I think I also learned it from you during the last interview where you said you're always present. You said, how do you balance it all, right? I'm interpreting the question to be
Yes,
work
yes.
and personal. Okay. You mentioned that in the last interview you had where you said whenever you're doing something, you're present. You're 100% present. If you're with your son, you're present. If you're at school, you're present. And so again, there will be times where work and personal lives will not perfectly align, right? And that's okay because you cannot
Yes.
do everything at the same time, but you can actually choose to do what is the most important thing per time. So it's very important to understand the season of your life. In a particular season, certain things must not fail because when it fails, it begins to reflect in every other thing that you think is even important and might not be important. I don't know if you know the theory of the glass balls, right? I've forgotten the man who explained that. Where at every point in time you are juggling five balls, right? And the most important thing is to ensure that those balls don't fall. So sometimes the balls will be up, some balls will be in your hand. So at every point in time, know the balls that will be in your hand. And so while you throw it up, you catch the next one. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but there is
Yes.
one important ball that must not fall because if it falls, it's going to break. That's the glass ball, and that's your family. So, in as much as I'm busy with other things, I'm juggling many other things. Those balls are plastic. If they fall, I can pick it up again. But once the glass ball falls, what happens? It has shattered, and even if the mending process is going to take a whole lot. So please, as much as you are balancing life, keep the ball rolling. Ensure that when one is coming down, try to catch it. Throw the next one up. Sometimes I have time for Madam President, and sometimes it's time for conferences like this. So even if she's fine, somebody has to sort her out, right? And so that's how I just sort of like find the balance in my personal and my professional life. Thank you.
I was going to snap, but this calls for clap instead. Wow. You've
Mm.
answered another question that I would have asked with
Okay.
this response. Thank you so
Okay.
much. I was going to ask how people, because we can easily, you see those people who are not intentional about their lives. We know that they are easily influenced because they don't even have any goal for their lives. So we give them goal. The people that they follow give them goals. You don't have an identity. Come on, I'll give you identity. You know. But there is a certain set of people who are very intentional, right? who choose to curate their timeline, who choose to curate the people that they listen to, the voices that they allow speak to them, speak into their minds by way of maybe trainings and sessions and conference and sessions like this. But even with those ones, among those who are intentionally chasing knowledge and hungry for knowledge and growth, they can also lose themselves while
Yes.
they are chasing that knowledge. You like someone so much that your own personality, you've taken almost all the personalities
Hmm.
that you see them have, or all the expressions of their personality that you see them exhibit. And at some point, you'll now see that even you yourself, you don't even recognize yourself again, because you become a second version
Another
of someone
person.
else. And it was totally
Hmm.
unplanned. You were simply innocently chasing knowledge and wanting to get better. So, how do people, you've answered this question, but I just wanted to touch on it maybe in a minute or two. How do people intentionally, this set of people that I just mentioned, this set of intentional persons, how do they ensure that they remain inspired but not taking up the identity of another?
Hmm.
I don't know if you get the question
Yeah,
or the
I
gist.
got your question.
Okay.
Okay. So again, it's all boils down to all we've been talking about. If you don't know who you are, again, like I said, clarity is a journey, and sometimes we could take on the persona or somebody who probably is your mentor or somebody who you're inspired by, and it's an unconscious act. So one thing that stops that is reflection and
Yes.
self-awareness. So at every point in time, that's why I always say this. People think meditation is sakamanje, I mean how they call it. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Or spiritualism and all of that. There's a reason why you always need to shut yourself out. There's a reason why every single time Jesus met with the crowd, afterwards he had to find time for himself, because it's easy, even not just for people who are trying to be inspired, even for people who are inspiring, even for people like you, Chinaza. It's very easy to feed off the energy of the people you've surrounded yourself with, and not everybody you've surrounded yourself with is at that high. And spirits attract, I don't know how to explain it. It's very easy to take on the spirit or the persona of somebody you just had an encounter with. And that's why every single time Jesus Christ met with the crowd, even if he was the giver, right, and he had it in abundance, he had to retreat. And so, even for somebody who is still in that process of discovering themselves, who is being inspired, so that they don't become Chinaza instead of being Victoria, you need to always have time for your retreats. You need to go back to God, because again, He's the one who defines you. He's the one who has called you. He's the one who is telling you do this and do that, right? So you need to go back. If you need to add fasting to it, I'm sorry, I'm just saying this, but I mean, these are things that worked for me. I'm saying, sharing from my own personal experience. There was a time I was overwhelmed with a lot, and what helped me, I started trying to be like someone else, and I'm somebody who is very self-aware. When I noticed it, I was able to nip it quickly. I went back to habit. I had a time for reflection. I had to shut off my phone. Sometimes social media is doing you a lot of harm. Sometimes you need
Yes.
to get off Facebook, even the so-called conferences that are good. Listen, I'm somebody who
Yes.
I am
Yes.
very good at
Yes.
personal. See, I'm not against personal development, because you see me right from when I was in university. My phone, I remember when I was in year one, my parents gave me, was it 30,000 naira to get a phone? I used it to pay for a course. I have started paying for courses in six figures from when I was in university years
Wow.
ago. So it's not now. It's not difficult for me to bring out heavy sums. So I'm a personal development advocate. Please, I have to say this out. But sometimes, how do I say this without making it seem like
Please
I'm
say it
discouraging
anyhow.
anyone?
That is why we are here. Okay,
Sometimes
because
that
even
is the
seen as that,
problem.
sometimes I don't go for conferences because I know that
Exactly. And that's
it
why I
has to
said
be
it's not
said.
everything good that is good for you in a particular
It
season,
has to be
because it's
said.
going to do more harm than good. It's not
Yes.
every book. So sometimes you just need to shut it all out and listen to yourself.
Yes.
Conferences are good, books are good, and all of those things. So sometimes I just withdraw, Go off Facebook and Instagram. We are so addicted, and that's the problem. We want to see what other people are doing. It's a lie. Some people tell
Yeah.
you, I'm getting updates. It's a lie. You are getting updates on other people's life. You are filling yourself with so much that you become the other person more than you are yourself. And
Yes.
so sometimes you just have to shut it down. So, what have I mentioned? Self awareness, reflection, taking a time for retreat, sometimes shutting off all the plenty courses that you are paying for, free courses. Sometimes, again, it depends on your season. This is not for everybody. Know your season, take
Yeah.
what I'm saying, right? And then go off, log off social media, and just breathe. You will find yourself back. You will find yourself back. Like I said, there's a thin line between inspiration and intimidation. When you
Yeah.
start to see yourself doing things outside who you originally are, it's a time for you to retreat. It's a time for you to retreat. Because of time, let's just end it at that. Let me not
In the
keep
words
going on.
of in the Gen Z language, and that's on period. That's on
That's on
period.
period. Mm.
Wow. Reflections. Reflections. Paying attention to yourself. Knowing when something is off, because we don't know ourselves. In fact, we know even the details of other people more than we know
And ourselves,
ourselves, and
yes.
it is killing us. That's one of the reasons I got the vision for Essence, because the contents that you see online are reeking of imitation and shallowness. I just saw, maybe I rarely watch skits, but I might see this skit. Oh, nice. And then I see another one, the same storyline, just different actors. I see another one. What's going on? What exactly is going on? There was a movie that came out on Netflix one time, and people were praising the movie. I actually saw the trailer, and I was like, okay, I put it on my watch later, only for me to come online one day, and then I saw people saying that this this storyline is exactly the same as they mentioned in the movie, that nothing changed, just that the
It
other one
happens.
the
Imitators
other one was a
everywhere.
series. The other one was a series. This one was a movie, and
Hmm.
by different director, different actors, but the storyline was the same.
Exactly the
Me,
same.
I now left the one I said I was going to watch. I went and watched the series, the original, because I hate anything that
You
insinuates
see,
or suggests inauthenticity or copying or imitation. Just be yourself. I remember when I wanted to not move on, to expand to Instagram. I mean, life is perfect on Instagram, and I know my life is not perfect. So for a
hmm,
very long time, I said I wasn't going to join Instagram. Everybody had a perfect background. They still do. Like, Instagram content, that they're different. They're
please tell me
different.
about LinkedIn. When you go to LinkedIn, everybody is a
Have
CFO,
you, how
CTO,
many times have you seen me on LinkedIn? Jeez.
and
You're a
that's not a
cleaner. The way
bad
they will
thing.
speak the English that they are cleaners will even make you kind of feel
Exactly.
bad about what you do that might even be better. I don't, let's not talk about LinkedIn. So for a long time, I didn't want to join Instagram until I think last year, January or 2 years ago, last year or thereabouts. I said, as you know what, to hell with this, just do it. Do it the way you do things. I joined Instagram. Well, I had an Instagram account, but I wasn't active. I wasn't posting. So I started posting on Instagram. What do I post? My picture, my hair, my write up. In 1 month, 10,000 people had followed me.
Wow.
The people that knew when I joined were asking me, "What exactly did you
How?
do? What happened?"
Hmm.
I said, "I don't know." But
You see,
looking looking
sometimes
back,
yeah. Please go on.
yes, okay. So, looking back, I saw that I was just being myself, and people felt like this
Hmm.
is just a breath of fresh air. This
Hmm.
is a human being that is just as human as I am.
Yes.
They're used to the beautiful aesthetics, and the funny
Mhm.
thing is, it's just one part of their house that is that beautiful. If they show you the other parts of their houses,
Yes.
the good
So
number of them, they will run away. you know.
Right now on the floor, I'm seeing toys everywhere. I will not show you that. You're not seeing that one. You're seeing a coordinated
You
system.
can't see it. You can't,
It's a
you know.
curated life.
Yes. And then you
Oh
are
God.
where you are, just feeling bad about the beautiful life that you currently have, but just
Hmm.
doesn't feel like the clip of or the glimpse of somebody else's curated life that they share on
Hmm.
social media. Because most people just share the best parts. They don't even share, and sometimes they share even the lie, not even the truth. You know.
True. That's
So
absolutely
I
true.
looked around. What is this inauthenticity that I see everywhere? And then I said, Chinaza, you see, you can only talk, but if you don't intervene one way or the other, this is going to continue. And this is just my own little way of helping people to, reconnect to what matters, go back to what matters. Jonabili would say, don't glorify the God in another person and you know um, despise the God in you, because God is jealous. You glorify my own genius and you forget that you are also a creative person. You also have something
Hmm.
that is of worth. It's not
Hmm.
just the way I talk. I mean, I was telling somebody, was it today or yesterday, that both of us might be talking about this authenticity now, this essence. But the way you talk about it
Absolutely different.
will be different. Even if we are giving the same
Absolutely.
script, even if we are
Absolutely.
giving the same script, my own
And
gesture would differ from yours. And the
yes.
more that can only
And
connect
you know
that
that,
way, I say it.
and people, there are some people that will listen to, if we're given the same script of hello, just say hello, and I say hello, and Chinaza, you say hello, there are some people that would feel impact, like they'll do when you say your own hello.
Yes,
The same people heard me say my
yes,
own hello. And see, again, when you're real to yourself, your tribe will come calling. Every
yes,
human being, their lives attached to us. There are people attached to our lives. When we show up in the truest form that we are, those people will find us. But
yes,
why we don't get the results that we want is because we're busy being any other person. And for if I've been assigned to Chinaza, if I hear Chinaza's voice, I will go to her. I will not go to a wannabe Chinaza. No. And so that's why
yes,
we're struggling with certain results, because the people we're trying to be like have attracted their own tribe. So you have
yes,
nothing left. Your own tribe cannot recognize your voice. Even the Bible
yes,
says that the sheep hears my voice and what answers. So sometimes,
yes,
we're not getting the things that we want because we are not authentically voicing out. Our voice is not authentic. And so we can't call forth the businesses, the clients, the lives that have been attached to us because we've taken on somebody else's voice.
yes. Thank you so
Amazing.
much. That was. I hope that was a light bulb moment for somebody, Sha. Let it not be that
It
we
was.
just spoke with
Thank
it
you
for
for
nothing.
sharing.
You know. Thank you. I owe you more thanks than you do owe me. Thank you for sharing so much.
Okay.
Um, there are several other questions here, but we've already touched on them
On,
during the
yeah.
course of the conversation. So let me ask this one. Looking ahead, what legacy do you hope to leave behind as a result of staying true to your essence?
Hmm. I think I mentioned it before that the core of who I am is just a girl who wants to be God's arrow. And so, in whatever expression He's pushing me to per season, I'm willing and ready to go. I'm carrying a God purpose, not a victorious purpose. And so, I have to align whatever it is I want with what God wants. So, I'm looking forward to doing. I don't know if I got the question right. You asked for a legacy, right?
Yes,
As
what
a result
legacy you
of
want to
staying
leave
true.
behind as a result of staying true
Yeah,
to your essence?
just basically doing all that God has set me out to do, impacting the lives connected to me. I'm looking forward to a legacy of empowerment and inspiration where when my name is mentioned, people will be like, oh, this lady, because of her, this, that. Because of her, via the platforms that is going to outlive me. Is it Voices with Victoria? I'm just at awe at how God is transcending that platform. And in the next 10 years, I'll look back and like, I didn't even think this was possible. You know why I can't fully answer this question? Because eyes have not seen, ears have not heard. So again, God is revealing to me per season.
Yeah.
So it's just like traveling to Abuja. I know I'm going to get to Abuja. But again, I'm not seeing Abuja. And I enter the airplane and then I'm traveling and what I'm seeing is just the cloud. So I'm at that point where it's just on God. I just want to be an arrow piece where God is sending me into the mountain of influence to just help lives that have been connected to me. I hope I answered that question. It's a very
You
tricky
did.
question. I don't want to go into details on. Thank you.
You did. You did. Thank you so much, my lady. It has been an amazing session with you. It's always beautiful having conversations with you. I remember when I was on your podcast, I still remember the depth of conversation that we had. And now I have the privilege of hosting you on my own platform. And it is nothing
Yay.
short of amazing. Thank you. Elijah Otto is giving you a shout out.
Hi, my boss. I think Philip has a question. I don't know if you want to take that.
I can't say the
He
question.
says, fake it before you make it is widely expressed. Someone described it as posing like what you're dreaming to become before you really make it. Please shed more light on this.
Okay, you
Yes.
have to take it, please.
Okay. Of course, you know that not everything that has been pushed on it, even if it sounds, sometimes we like emotional, we like deep. And sometimes we ride in foolishness and in error from the things that are sensational. This our generation. We like sensational words where you drop it as the
Yes,
hot and it hits us
yes,
like this. So even if
rhymes
it's
and
in
all that.
error, we will do right on and all of that.
Mm,
So fake it till you make it. I'd rather say grow till you make it. It's okay to have projection. The Bible even says write the vision, make it clear, and all of those things. So of course, there is who you want to become. Even the Bible says keep beholding as in the mirror. What happens? You're being transformed, and that's why I say grow it till you make it. You keep the image before you. You are not claiming to be what you are not. You are not lying to people, but you are keeping the image. I have a vision board. This is a topic on, see, on my phone. I have it in my heart. I have it in my journals, the things I want to do. And what happens, like the Bible says, as you keep beholding, you are being transformed. It's an automatic thing. Sometimes you don't even realize. In the next 5 years, you begin to see things. You begin to live in the prayers that you have prayed. And that's because you kept beholding. And so I didn't come out to say, I am this when I'm not. No, I know who I want to become, right? And I just put it before me. I connect with the people who are already there. I don't know if it was she's no longer on the social media space, or at least on Facebook. They call her Mother N. And I heard it years ago where she says connect with somebody whose current reality triples your future ambition. That's the person you want to be like. Connect with the person whose current reality is even more than your ambition in future. I mean, what that does is just to make you tell you that it is possible. So you're not going on LinkedIn to go and lie that you are the CTO when you're not. Do you want to be the CTO? Yes. Is it possible? Absolutely. There is nothing you set your hands to do that will not be done if that is in line with your path. Again, like I said, who are you? What has God said you? Who has God said you are? Said about you. When you have all of these things in play, just keep doing the things those people want, those people are doing, and not in the sense of copying, not in the sense of Chinaza is hosting conference. Okay, I want to be like Chinaza. Okay, let me go and host. No, we're talking about principles, because the truth is success leaves footprints. So we're not
yeah,
talking about action. So when we're saying do the things that your mentors are doing, if you want to be an expert, do what the experts are doing. We're not talking about action. That's where people miss it. And then they go and start copying strategy A to Z. We're not talking about the strategy. We're talking about the principle behind it, because there's a reason they are doing what they are doing. So you just go and copy what they are doing without even knowing the why. You miss it.
yeah.
So again, it's being before doing. So I don't know if I answered it. That's fake it before you make it is a wrong teaching. Rather, grow it, and then you're definitely going to become who you set out to be. Right?
Yeah,
That's just it.
that's so powerful. To add to that too, fake it could also be adopt the behavior of the ideal you until it becomes second nature to you. So,
Mm,
for example, um, I used to walk like a duck. I used to walk like somebody that's being pushed from the back, like, and I'm very tall.
You're
So
tall.
yeah. So if I'm walking like this, you think that somebody invisible is pushing me from the back. So I'm always walking pushed. But
Mm.
then at some point, I realized that, see, Tinaza, the ideal you does not walk this way. How does
Mm.
she walk? She walks with her chest straight. She walks with her head high. I was at an event last 2 days ago. For the first time, I wore 3.5 inches heel. That's a big deal for me. 3.5 inches
You
heel
should try
pointed.
4 6 inches or
What?
4.
What did you say?
If I had your height, I would be wearing 6 inches so that nobody is going to. I'll just be looking at everybody's head.
I wore it. So the lowest I'd worn, okay, I think I have 3 inches, but they were all blocked heels because I felt like I'm very tall, so I need blocked heels to carry my weight and all that. So, but this time around, I bought 3.5 inches pencil heels, and I learned to walk in it. I walked so majestically that people were like, Tina, you are this tall and you're able to walk. You're even running on these heels. That's my first time wearing heels that are like that. I learned to walk like that because the future me, not future is your future self is simply the person that you become if you continue on the trajectory that you are on. Your
Mm.
ideal self is different from your future self, and that is not a teaching I'm willing to go into right now. But I know that my ideal self, the best version of Tina as a favor, wears sophisticated attire, is sophisticated in speech. I was not talking like this earlier. In fact, this is not even how my best version talks. She talks even better. But I am already um adopting the behaviors that she has. The best version of me, um, she doesn't stutter. I still stutter, but
Yeah.
I'm learning. I am in that process. So when you say fake it till you make it, it simply could also mean adopt the right behaviors until they become second nature to you. The behaviors that
Mm-hmm.
progress you.
Absolutely.
Oh, you are not given to discipline, but your ideal self is not lazy. You submit yourself to discipline and having consequences when you fail to meet deadlines that you set to yourself. You commit to not failing yourself because the ideal self does not fail yourself, you know. So,
Absolutely.
whatever you project to be is not this version of you that gets there. No, there's a different version. This might be Chinaza 2.0, but the best version of me could be Chinaza
Mm.
10.0 or 50 points. So it's a process, but I'm looking at her characteristics and I'm beginning to adopt those behaviors. And when I started learning to talk better, I felt like a scam.
Yeah.
Oh God, Chinaza. When I learned to eat with cutlery, I felt like scam. But they have become
Imposter
second nature to
syndrome.
me. Yes. So I met a friend I hadn't seen in 7 years at this trip that I went to 2 days ago. And she was like, you have grown so much. You've grown.
So you
I
see,
wasn't even
you grow
trying
it
to.
till you make it. That's the
Yes,
growth process. You're doing the
yes,
work.
I'm doing the work, you know. And I talk the way I talk, I even feel I'm still too raw in the way I talk, even though I know I've made progress, significant progress. So this friend of mine, I could say maybe in my 30s, she would try to mimic it. Like, what are you doing? She said, I'm just trying to talk the way you just did. I said, that's not how I talk. She said, that's exactly how you talk. I didn't even realize it has become second nature to me.
Hmm.
And that is how I will continue to lean into. just like Victoria said, beholding that ideal version of me
Until you
and
become.
committing myself to the principles that I know she keeps to, learning the things that she would know. If I want to be the CEO of maybe a Fortune 500 company, of course there's some information that she would have that I currently do not have, that I must seek. So I keep learning, I keep growing until I become it. I keep adopting those habits, I keep adopting those behaviors and attitude and even mindsets and perspectives until they become second nature to me. Just like we do with affirmations. I am this, I am that. When you start saying them, you may not believe them that much, but before you know what's going on, you start believing them, and your subconscious helps you to put them into
And you start
action, and
acting
then you start
in that
seeing that
alignment.
you're a better version of yourself. Yes. I hope that answered
Amazing.
your question. My lady, thank you so
Yes.
much for
Thank you for having me.
joining me. Um, I don't even know how else to say it. Guys, did you learn anything? Did you learn anything? Please, what do we say to our
Thank
guests?
you.
Lady Victoria, thank you. Thank you. You are so full of wisdom, so full of
Pleasure.
insights that I could talk, I could listen to you talk all day and I'm not going to get tired. Thank you so much. Please,
Thank
how
you
do we
so
connect with
much.
you before you go?
Sorry?
How do we connect with you? What do you have that we can key into? Maybe projects, training, services, or how do we connect with
Um,
you?
I mean, for starters, they could go watch the interview we had. That's such a powerful interview. I mean, I keep watching it and it's so calm, like you said. And so, yes, Voices with Victoria. So, my name on YouTube, just type Victoria Ndu. I think she projected my Victoria Ndu, NDU, and you would see the session I had with her. I've also featured amazing persons. On Saturday,
Amazing
we're
person.
launching season 2 as well. And so,
Wow.
yeah, you could just connect with us there. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Subscribe,
much.
please.
Subscribe as you what? Subscribe. Subscribe. Add
Thank
to the
you.
number. Hmm?
I'm so
Don't be a
honored
village
to be here
person.
today.
Thank you, my lady. Thank you. Do you have any final words before you go?
Ah, well, the final words is just be you. And in the sense of who God has created, God does not make mistakes. If He needed two of Chinaza, He probably would have done two head on her shoulders so that there will be two. But He knew we needed just one Chinaza favor, and she's doing a good job at being Chinaza. So you don't need to be Chinaza, just be you. Every human being was created with something that only them can bring to the table. There's a flavor salt brings. Even if you put every other thing, if you don't put salt, that food is incomplete. So there's
I
a
agree.
flavor you bring that even if every other person contributes to that mission, without you, that mission is incomplete. All right. So just go out there, look for who you are, engage in who you are, and then the world is waiting to, basically experience you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. What question would you leave for our next guest?
Sorry.
What question would you leave for our next guest?
Oh, I don't even know who the next guest is. That would have helped
Exactly.
me to get a
Ex-
specific question. What is that what is that thing that they fundamentally thought was true, but they have changed their mind about?
hmm.
I don't know if it's in line with the question with the conference theme, but I
Doesn't
think it's an
matter.
important
Doesn't
question.
matter.
What did they fundamentally hold to be true, but have changed their mind about, and why? I'd like to know.
Wow. I'm trying to put it down.
Okay.
Wow, that is really. I want to know this one.
Thank you,
Wow.
Moody. Thank you, Diction Citadel. My boss, Elijah Author, thank you so much. Thank you, Victoria, my namesake, and all of you. It's been nice being here. Duty calls. I'd like to run off now. Thank you so much, my lady Chinaza Favor.
Thank you, my
You're a
lady.
blessing.
Thank you.
And, I'm just so happy being here. God bless you.
Thank you so
Can
much.
I sign off?
I would have asked you the
Okay, you
question
have
that
one
our
more
previous
question.
guest. No, I would have asked you the question that our previous guests left, but I can't find the book where I wrote it in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank God.
But
Okay.
does anybody remember it here? If you remember
They
what
cannot remember. They cannot remember. Don't even bother.
oh my god. Let me let you go, my lady. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you
It's been
so
an honor.
much.
Thank you. Please have
Yeah,
a
so much
wonderful
love
night,
from me.
friends. Thank you. Thank you. Everyone is
Bye.
bye. Wow. 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 Please always should share the grace in the comments because I think we have done justice to the Essence conference, the pre-conference session. Like, of course, I don't know. They keep blowing my mind. I always know that the sessions are going to be amazing and powerful and enriching and very insightful. But I always get more than I anticipated that the sessions would be. I always end up, seeing more than I anticipated. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Mr. Elijah. Thank you, everyone. And before you go, I'd really love to remind you of the Essence Conference coming up in Lagos um, on the 1st of June, 2024. Okay, we are going to be having an amazing lineup of speakers. You can imagine if the pre-conference sessions are like this, you can only imagine the quality of information and insight you'll be getting at the physical conference. How many of you have plans to be there? A couple of people have gotten their tickets, so you should plan to be there. If you're in Lagos, if you're anywhere around Lagos, or you're in Nigeria, you should make your way there. Okay, so we have just two ticket tiers. One is the premium ticket, um, which gives you access to the essence, to the conference, to networking opportunities, to the copy of my book, Dear Young One, which will be launched on that day. Yeah, that is what you get. It is currently 10,000 naira, but it is going to be 15,000 naira from the 1st of April. The early bird discount is still on, so get your ticket. The second one is the Gold Pass, which gives you access to the exclusive Essence Bootcamp with our guest trainer. Okay, with me and our guest trainer. It's going to take place after the conference. Okay, this gives you access to the training, and if you pay for that ticket, you get automatic access to the conference in person. All right, so we'll be revealing our website soon. Sorry that we are not able to do that. We're having some glitches behind the scenes, but once our website is ready, you'll be shared all the details that you need. However, for now, you can get hold and take advantage of the early bird discounts, 10,000 naira for the premium ticket and 45,000 naira for the training, for the exclusive bootcamp with me on after the event. Okay, the date will be communicated to the registered participants. And then if you're a group of 5 and above, you have to come with your group. Okay, don't pay alone. We have a discount for you, 10% off your total registration fee. So if you have a group of 5, if you're a group of 5 and above, send us a message. We will work your registration details together and you pay so that you get 10% off your total registration fee. I mean, why go alone when you can go with a group and still get benefits that are attached to your respective categories, right? Yeah, that is it about the Essence Conference happening in Lagos. Again, early bird discounts end on the 30th of May of April. From May, the price increases. Don't tell us that you want to pay the current price now, once April is over. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for being a part of this. I hope that it was really worth your time. I learned a lot. If you're watching the replay, thank you for watching to this point. And if you're watching live, the replay will be available on YouTube. So once we are done here, the video will be taken out of Facebook so that the replay can remain on YouTube. Okay, that's where you're going to watch and get all the details. I mean, you can't just watch this once and that will be it. You need to watch it over and over for it to begin to make sense to you, because I'm sure that there are certain points that you missed during the session. So don't leave this at this alone. Go watch again, take notes, and take action. The reason we're doing all these things I shared with you is so that you can reconnect with your core and start doing things that are aligned with who you are at your core. Okay, you don't have to dance to the society's tune. What music are you playing for yourself? That is what you have to dance to, not that of society. Society is there, it can always come and go, but you are here, okay? And you have to live the best life that you can possibly live, that is most fulfilling to you and to the people that are around you, that are of authentic benefit to the people that are around you and to you also, okay? So don't just be somebody who watches and says deep and all that and you don't implement anything that you learn here. Watch, take notes, and implement and track your progress. I'll see you next time. I'll see you on Sunday for the next Essence Grid Conference conversation with another amazing guest whom I cannot wait to have on the show. This time it should be a guy. Hopefully it is. Because I cannot wait to see you at that time on Sunday by 7 p.m. I'll see you then. Thanks everyone for watching, and I do hope you had a very wonderful night's rest. Do you have accommodation for delegates outside Lagos? We do not have, we're not providing accommodation, but we are in talks with certain hotels around the area that the conference will be held so that we can get discounts for those who are coming outside Lagos. But we are not providing accommodation for people who are coming. Okay? I hope that answered your question. Can it be hybrid? We'll look into that. But for now, we are only selling the tickets for the physical participation. Okay, so if you're anywhere close and can make it to the physical event, please do it. It's better in person. Okay, it's better in person. I hope to see you there. Do have a very wonderful night's rest, everyone. Good night.